metaphysical, paranormal. You know, all those things you've been wondering about. Are you ready to go deeper into the realms of the unknown? I hope you've got your walking shoes on, because life is an adventure, and this is the journey. Come on, let's go. Hello and welcome to the show, everyone. It's Wednesday night, and this is the Journey Radio Show. I'm Jen Cruz, your host tonight, and we're showing up as the She-Squatchers. So I've got my trusty teammate on the line. Hey, Jena, are you there?
I am. Do you notice how I didn't have to pause today to say hello? Anyway, yes, the mute button is completely, I've solved the riddle of the mute button. Anyway, hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. And yes, I'm so excited about our guest tonight. We actually met him, and he is awesome, and I can't wait to talk. So I'm going to let you guys start us out.
All right. Well, let me just tell you about our guest tonight. His name is David Martin, and he's also known as Super Dave. And there's reason. So he's coming to us tonight to tell us about his adventures in his search for Bigfoot and other cryptids. Let me tell you a little bit about him. David Martin is a hunt team leader for the North Carolina Squatch Watchers. His team members include Taylor Cook, Tate, Fullbright, and Toby Bolick. He's an 8-year veteran researcher that has garnered the nickname Super Dave, traveling the Carolinas, Virginias, Georgia, and Tennessee in search of the elusive legendary creatures that roam in the darkest corners of our lands. So without further delay, let's welcome Super Dave. David Martin, welcome to the show. Are you there?
I am. Can y'all see me?
Yeah. Well, we can see you, but on the radio they can just hear you. We're recording it on a video though, so.
And just to let everyone know, we had to tell him to put on a shirt. So you may want to check out the video.
We weren't recording that.
Yeah. I was taking a nap. I thought this show was an hour from now. So I was a little late. So I had to get ready really quick.
Right. That's a good story. We'll go with that.
We do that often.
No, we never start the show without a shirt on. That's just
we start the show on. We get dressed as we start being on the radio. So
no, that's anyway.
Just pants on, right?
What?
It's totally fine. I don't have any pants on, right? Just a shirt.
I'm wearing a dress, so I don't have pants on either. So we're good.
I think however you are comfortable, Mr. Super Dave, I think that's going to be good. So as long as you're comfortable, we're all good. Just don't point the camera down, please.
No, I will not.
Awesome. Well, hey, can you tell us a little bit about what in the world got you started believing in Bigfoot? Have you always believed in Bigfoot?
Well, I guess you have my mother to thank for that. My mother believed in every little folklore and legend that there was. And growing up, she had us scared half to death to go outside at night at dark. And then on the compound issues, the legend of Boggy Creek just mesmerized me as a young man. As a child, I would actively think about what was in the woods when I was 7 and 8 years old, playing in them. And that one movie just changed everything for me. And as I grew up, you start hearing more stories and you start hearing more encounters, and you are always just kind of, I really wonder if there's more to it. And so I've always been a want to believe, I really did, but I'm the kind of guy you're going to have to prove it to me. So I got the chance for someone to prove it to me going on about 9 years ago now. So I've been on the fence hunting Bigfoot for about 4 years, and after I had my first real sighting, no, I think I saw it. Was it? It's in front of you. You can't escape it. It's there, it's real. And so I have been a serious researcher now for the last 4+ years instead of just kind of playing it as a hobby. So does that make sense?
It does. It does. Might want to back up a little bit from your camera view.
I'm sorry.
That's good. Perfect. That's perfect.
I'm used to somebody else having the camera when I'm talking, so this is a first for me to film myself. I hadn't done this in a long time, so.
Well, yeah, we just didn't want to look up your nose. That's okay.
I appreciate that.
For those out
Yes.
there in Radio Land, we get to see each other when we do this awesome show. Isn't that fun?
Yes, and if you too could see us on this awesome show, if you go out to Jen.
Oh, sometimes we upload our video from the recording to our YouTube channel later. So that's at on our YouTube channel at SheSquatchers Official. So come check us out. We also upload our fun videos from when we're out in the field sometimes. We don't upload as much as we'd like to because we kind of get sidetracked and busy with other things. Going through our camera stuff is kind of takes a back seat sometimes. But oh well, I'm sure that's true with everybody, right? How about you guys at the North Carolina Squatch Watchers?
We have 12 MacBooks full of video that is archived from Bigfoot hunts. And if you guys know how many terabytes are on a MacBook, that's a lot. It's almost impossible sometimes to go through everything that we video. Yeah, so we store a lot of video.
There you go. And how much do you upload to YouTube?
We try to upload what we call an episode at least weekly or every other week. We're working on our latest one right now. We did it a week ago. It's just a little hard to put this one together. We had a lot of interference and we had a surprise. We showed up for an investigation. There were a lot more people there than we anticipated. So it makes it a little harder to put together the video the way we want to. So.
Gotcha. Well, we're not very tech savvy when it comes to editing video. We just kind of put it up there and call it good. There's no extra fanciness. Just video from the field. Ta-da, here it is with an explanation written in the comments.
Word art.
That's all.
What?
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, yeah. So we probably need someday maybe we'll have somebody who's really good at that, who can just bing, bang, boom, bing, bang. Not that Jena's not good at it. She's just,
I'm
Jena.
just busy. I'm busy. It's so hard. And like you said, there's so much you have to go through. So it's not only getting out there and, collecting the evidence, you have to go through it too, which that doubles the time. So if you're out there for 6 hours, you've got a lot of time looking through. But I mean, it's all worth it in the end because, we may just walk away with great evidence. So
Yes, that's always fun. So tell me, you want to tell us about your first encounter, like when you absolutely for sure knew that this is a Bigfoot going on in the woods? What was that about?
I'd have to go back and no one can hold me to my dates. I'm going to say it was probably 2015. 2015, it'll be cold. February, I believe, sometime around February. Taylor and myself, and we used to have another cast member. His name was Bronson. Bronson was out with us, and back then we didn't have a lot of, and we still, we don't have a lot of tech equipment now, but the cameras we were using were very low tech compared to what we have. We didn't have very good SD cards. They filled up quickly. We had a lot of trouble with them, so we had been in the woods this particular night on one of our main hunt areas, and it was pushing, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's cold. Our batteries are about shot. We don't, we don't have a lot left, and I did have a camera. I just couldn't pick anything up with it. Did not have the night vision engaged on it. Everybody wants you to be prepared for that one moment when everything aligns. we were not prepared. So we were having so much activity, and Taylor was, he was a little unnerved. Bronson was unnerved, and we actually called our producer for our local television show, who was not far away. He came down there, and he wouldn't come unless he was armed. So we're all sitting around this truck, and I'm like, well, we're going to go back and we're going to find out where these sounds and these noises are coming from. And I'm like, let's go. I turn around, and they're all leaning up against the truck, and they're like, yeah, this is where we stay. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't make it but about a football field's length from them. I mean, it was not very far at all. And I'm trying to get the camera to work. I'm looking at the camera, so you can see the lens is open. And I'm kind of camera blind. If anybody's trying to film at night, they understand what being camera blind is. And I knew something was not right. And so when I put the camera down and I look ahead of me, maybe 20 feet, 30 feet max, I see this very large, dark shadow standing behind a tree. And Jena, I tell you, for me, it was that moment where you're like, okay, I've been on this property now for 3.5 years, 4 years, okay, somewhere around in there. And I know what everything looks like. I know I know where the holes are. I know exactly where to step. There's nothing you can't tell me about this 227 acre patch that we claim as our own. I know every inch of it like the back of my hand. It doesn't look right. It shouldn't be there. So, I mean, it's not like it was like a 2 or 3 second thing and it was over. So I'm standing there and letting my eyes focus. And as my eyes become more in tune with the night setting, this thing just kind of peeks out from around behind the tree and looks at me. Now, I can't see the face. I've told everybody this numerous times, but I could see the head, the shoulders, the waist, the arms. Okay. This thing had to be 8.5 feet tall, minimum. Okay. At least 4 foot wide and in excess of 450 pounds. Those are just the bare bone minimum dimensions. So I stood there for what seemed like an eternity just looking at this thing. And I thought, okay, I reached for my flashlight because I'm going to light up the area. And of course, Taylor has my flashlight. So I've got no way of lighting up. I don't have a cell phone. I have nothing. So I ran back to the truck, grabbed a flashlight, come back, and the whole area was completely gone. So we decided to pack it up that night, went back the next day. And in the exact spot where this thing was standing, we found the footprint where it had climbed up on the bank. And we could look up in the trees and see where it had twisted and just broke limbs out of its, the view of its eyes, so it could see us clearly. It had been, no telling how long it had been watching us. It's just I hadn't noticed it until that very moment. So that was the moment that everything changed for me. It's also one of the super days. I do not run.
Oh, I missed that last part. Can you repeat that?
So that's one reason they call me Super Dave. I do not run.
Oh, is that the reason? We were told so many other things at all these events. No, I'm totally teasing you. If you guys could see his smile on his face just a minute ago.
They say about me, I can't say on the radio show.
No, everybody loves you.
Okay, now you're gonna have to tell us because she was just pretending and we haven't really heard anything. So.
Yeah, we really haven't. Come on, we dig. I want that dig.
Dig, yeah. If Taylor was here, he'd have me blushing and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, we have a lot of fun together. I love my team. We have a great team, and we have a lot of fun together. And I actually tried to get Taylor and Tate involved tonight, but they're at a local baseball game, and they couldn't make it. So
Awesome. Okay. Well, hey, they can come on a different night. That would be awesome.
Maybe we can get that together for them.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. So when, at one of the events we were talking about Bigfoot and looking for Bigfoot, and you said something to me that I just went, what? You do what? And you were talking about how you chase Bigfoot. Now I thought that's where you maybe got the nickname Super Dave, because you chase him.
It is. One of my very first adventures where I took after, well, when you're with a lot of people, everybody sees what we lovingly refer to as blob squatches, which is nothing more than shadows in the woods, optical illusions at night, and things of that nature. So this particular night, they had Daniel Troyer said that I see something, and when he points in the direction for a change, I could see something, and whatever it was, you could see the movement in the shrubs and the bushes and all those wonderful things. And so I just bolted in after it like a bat out of hell. And I'm running down through these woods. At this point, I don't know the land like I should, and I notice I'm just running, and I'm sidestepping on trees that are downed. And I get to a point where I'm having to hold on to all these limbs and balance myself. And I'll say, wait a minute, I'm in a ravine with these trees that are anywhere from 100 feet to 150 feet long. Old growth oaks and pine trees have been blown down in a tornado. And so I'm in a precarious situation, about to fall, at least 30, 40 feet impending doom. And yeah, that was the night they truly started calling me Super Dave. And that moniker follows me everywhere I go for some reason. And I never tell anybody about it. They just start calling me that, because I tend to run into it, not away from it.
Can I ask a question?
And
why did you do it the first time? I'm just curious. What made you want to do it?
To touch it. I won't put my hands on it. At that point, I had not had an encounter, and in my mind, it was all, this is a bunch of junk. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun. We're running out in the woods in the middle of the night. I got all these cool friends I'm making. What a neat hobby. What a neat pastime. It was much easier being Super Dave before I knew it was real. I go on used to go on a lot of single hunts, just me by myself and a camera, flashlight, and that's it. And it was a wonderful time, and I experienced a lot. But now that I know it's there and that it's real, it is a lot harder to walk out in a area where you know that this creature is actively living and having encounters, and be one-on-one than it was before. Now, I can still do it, but I can honestly tell you it takes a lot more courage after the fact than it did before.
I suppose it does.
Oh, yes.
I can honestly tell you that we have never ran towards it. I have actively walked towards an area where I saw things moving, and I was very sure that it was a Bigfoot area. And I saw critters moving back there, and I'm like, come on, Jena, come on, Jena, come on, Jena. And I'm walking by myself, but I was scared because I'm going there by myself. I didn't want to do that. I'm like, Jena, come on. But that's probably the only time I swiftly walked towards something that I saw moving.
Yes.
We're a lot different. Toby and myself both will go towards, and Taylor has come a long way since he got his nickname. Because gosh, when was it? 2016 or so. He got the nickname Taylor Run Run. So.
Oh, how'd that happen?
I'm sure we've got imaginations. Is it that?
We were on our main hunt site, and it is such a tragic thing. We had 2 weeks in a row. We had some of the best evidence we've ever had. And this particular night, everything's caught on camera. A really poor quality camera, but nonetheless, it's there. And we're standing on one of our main hunt sites. And hold on just a second. I'll have to edit that out. Super Dave's not feeling
We're
so
live.
super.
We're live.
Everybody heard. Yeah, you guys.
I'm trying to not let y'all know I'm feeling a little under the weather. But we were on our main hunt site. It was probably about 12:30 at night, and everybody has stopped in their tracks. There's video of this. I think it's on one of our YouTube videos. We have what we call the gifting site, and I was just beside myself because they had moved our rocks. And we have a rock pile that we refer to as the gifting site, and this is stuff that they've brought to us to interact with. And so they were completely rearranged, and I'm sitting there and I'm trying to call Rex and our producer, and when the phone rings on the second ring, you can actually hear this rock come crashing through the forest. It's hitting all these limbs and going through, and I mean it's making a very distinct sound, and it lands right behind us. And Taylor takes off running, bulldozes through me. Everybody's going ape nuts, and I'm trying to get over here and get everybody to calm down, And as quick as we collect ourselves, I mean, all within like 2 or 3 seconds, I can see in the forest, I can see the movement of this creature. I can't see it, but I can see the limbs and things moving, and I tore in there like a bat out of hell yet again. And I was by myself. Nobody would follow me in. Bronson was with me, another guy that we used to think a lot of, but he's no longer allowed back in our group. So, I can't have anybody that I can't depend on. And anyway, I'll just leave it at that. He's not allowed back in our group. But I had give chase, and I mean, it's the closest I've ever come chasing a Sasquatch that I felt like I could probably get caught up with it. I probably ran, I don't know, 100 yards, 200 yards through the woods, easy. And the only reason I didn't make it is I found a hole big enough to step in and like broke my right leg. Lost my phone, lost everything, and so they had to come kind of find me and get me, and all that good stuff. I didn't get severely hurt, but that chase was over. But Taylor got his nickname that night because he ran and stood behind me. And so that's where Taylor Run was born. But Taylor has really stepped up to the plate, and he's one of our bravest team members now. So I'll give him all the credit in the world now.
Awesome. Awesome. Jena's our fearless one. It's Jena. She doesn't chase them though, but she climbs the hill and she goes inside of everything to find.
Yes. You know what? It would be really nice though. It would be really cool to be with a group that actually does go toward them. You know what I mean? If I'm, toward them, not like fast, let's attack, but how Dave was saying, I just want to touch him. I think that would be neat to do once.
But they run. Could you see them running from you?
I could not. I have give chase so many times, and these creatures are incredibly fast and agile. I have always been able to see, if you're running through the woods and you're 7, 8 feet, 9 feet tall in some cases, you're going to be moving some limbs. You're going to be running into a few things. And so you can see the forest moving and the brush and the bushes and limbs swaying. And that's what I get to see more of than anything. The night it pushed a tree over on us and shook the ground like I've never felt before was the only time I gave chase and could see the outline of a body in front of them. Now, the problem on this night is there wasn't one, there were three of them. And when they pushed this tree over, they probably weren't 20 feet away from us, and we couldn't even see them. And we were actually standing on a paved parking lot. That's how close they were to civilization. And they pushed a tree over that was, I don't know, 30, 40 feet tall. I don't know, it's big around as my waist, easy. And they just slammed it on the ground. And I tell everybody, when I say slammed, if you can imagine, you want to get everybody's attention and you want to make a scene. When this thing, you could hear it come crashing, and when it hit the ground, it thundered and shook underneath our feet. That we had no cameras going. It was 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. It was cold. We had no battery left. All of our SD cards were full. We were done. We were headed home for the night. And I tore into the woods like I don't know what, and I could see them. And again, I find somebody had left the remnants of a tomato cage that you put around your tomato plants to let them grow up, you know. And so I stepped in that stupid tomato cage and got my tongue tangled up in my right foot, took my left foot out from under me, and I fell. When I fell, I found a rock wall from an old homestead that was going through the woods from like 200 years ago. And that's when I hit that rock wall with my left leg. Yeah, I wasn't feeling so super anymore. And Toby and all of them were like, "You okay, Dave?" And I'm like, "No, I really need y'all to come help carry me out of here. I thought I'd broke my leg. I hurt so bad." And so they went and got flashlights from the cars and come help me out of there that night. But that was the only time I'd give chase that I could physically see the bodies themselves running away from me.
Wow. Wow, that's cool.
Now let me ask, when you're rushing these guys, do you smell anything?
Oh, yes. I mean, not always, but yeah, I mean, we're so accustomed to what they smell like. I mean, on our primary hunt site, there was a time when we would show up and within 15 minutes, we expected them to be there. We expected interaction to be happening that quick. Up until the last year and a half, 2 years, on our primary hunt site, I was on that property at least once a week, if not twice a week, every week for over 3 years. And I'm trying to explain this to people as it's one of the things that set us apart is we kept a primary hunt site and we stuck with it. We didn't try to chase all over the surrounding areas to look for Sasquatch. It was coming to us, a whole community of them. And it was going to our cabin, which sits out in the middle of nowhere. The Henry River runs right beside of it. We've had so much interaction for them coming up and, bumping the cabin, beating on the cabin, scratching on the walls, throwing things at us. I mean, it was just, we felt like rock stars because they were playing with us. And I've told everyone, I truly believe that they loved us coming because we were kind of entertaining, if you will. And they got so accustomed to it that when we didn't come, they started going to surrounding houses and harassing them, trying to get them to come outside and interact with them.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I want to live there.
Okay, we're going to have to take our commercial break now. So just on that cliffhanger, let's stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.
All right, great.
Awesome. So we're on break now, but we're still recording the video. And if you say something, you're going to land in our floating window so we can see where you're at. Say something.
See you, man.
Keep talking.
I'm talking. Hello. My throat hurts.
Okay, see how far away the camera is right now?
I can't see anything.
Okay, it's too close.
How's that?
That is. Are you putting it down? Yeah.
I'm holding it. So I can see you guys. You can't see me at all.
That's good right there. Actually, that's pretty good. I just can't see the top of your head. Sometimes we're only seeing the top of your head, and sometimes we're only seeing. Yeah, but now I can't see your chin.
Oh my
A little bit
gosh,
lower.
that's-
A little bit
that's
lower.
just-
A little bit lower. Perfect. Wonderful. Good job.
Go right there.
Right there. See, if you were to set it down somewhere and have it positioned, then you wouldn't have to worry about it so much. But
If it doesn't fall here. I don't have my case with me and all that good stuff. So, all right. How's that?
that is pretty good. Is that good, Jenna? Can't hear you, Jenna. You're muted.
I know, but I don't want to talk through the break and then not hear. But yeah, that looks perfect.
All right. So,
La,
my
la.
hands free.
Coming back online pretty quick here.
Jen. General.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. This is the Journey Radio Show, and when we are not live, you can find us at thejourneyradioshow.com. And hey, we're the She-Squatchers. Check us out at SheSquatchers.com. And on the top of the page there, you'll find a link to our Facebook page. Won't you please come find our Facebook page and check us out there? Today, very exciting stuff happened. We just posted our fundraiser. It just went live tonight. So for 2 weeks and 2 weeks only, I think it ends August 6th or 7th. But just for 2 weeks, we have our She-Squatchers gear is live for purchase there. And it's stuff that we don't carry when we go to events. Things that people request, like tank tops and double-sided this and double-sided that. This has our brand new backside that hasn't been made before. We don't even own this stuff yet. It says Beyond Wild, Girls Gone Squatch on the back. On the front, it says Believe with the Bigfoot on the front. On the back, it says Beyond Wild, Girls Gone Squatch. So you're going to have to go check that out. And all the funds that we raise for during the fundraiser go to help supporting our research. So for our travel and all that, because to get out there and stuff, it gets kind of expensive. It's an expensive hobby, isn't it, Dave?
It certainly is.
Yes. So we asked for help by selling our cool little t-shirts. Actually, there were people who were emailing us and saying, when is the fundraiser going up? When is the fundraiser going up? Not even kidding. People wanted that stuff. So
Yeah, so and it's exciting because there's a lot of really cool stuff and it's good quality stuff. So you're not going to spend $20 on a not so nice shirt. You're going to probably spend $30 and get a shirt that's going to last you a whole lot longer and look fabulous after getting washed. So I'm so excited. I'm going to be buying stuff. So I can't wait.
I haven't had time to place my order yet, but I will. We were so busy getting it up there and telling people about it. I haven't even gotten to order my things yet. So anyway, check it out. It's on our Facebook page, and our Facebook page is She-Squatchers Official, and you can find it there. And so tonight we've got David Martin with us. He's with the North Carolina Squatch Watchers, our Bigfoot research team out in North Carolina, and he's also known as Super Dave, as we've been hearing why. He chases the Bigfoot. He literally runs after them. And my response to that initially was, I hope you're wearing a GoPro cam so we can find your found footage like the Blair Witch Project someday. Because I just thought that sounded so crazy that you would chase them. I'm like, if I saw a bear in the woods, I don't go chasing them. What would happen? I'm surprised that they run from you. I really am surprised that they run from you. What would you do if they didn't run?
I would catch them. It would be a lot easier.
That's a perfect answer. I would catch them.
All right. Say you catch one. Then what? All of a sudden you're there. Then what? What do you do?
I mean, we got into this a little bit at the convention. I don't know what I'm going to do after I do that. I mean, when you set a goal and you achieve it, and this goal is pretty lofty, once that goal is achieved, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I think it will be how can I say, I won't say a religious experience, but it will definitely be, I don't know, transcendent, to be able to touch something that's supposed to be a myth, a legend, figments of our imagination. I hear about all the folklore of people who have interacted with them, and then one of the things that just aggravates me about our community, and I've got a guy local, very local, and I will not mention his name because I give him zero credit. When we meet these people, it's like, oh yeah, my children go play with their children. Well, that's first off, it stops me dead in my tracks. I'm going, wait a minute. So you're talking about your 9 and 10-year-old daughter and son are going out into the forest and playing with juvenile Sasquatch. And oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, the mom and dad will bring them up to the house and they'll kind of signal us, and the kids will just go out and go off with them and play in the woods. And I'm going, when can I come? Oh, well, I don't think that would be a good idea. Well, why not? Well, we don't own the property, and the property owner might not want you there. First off, if I have a family of Sasquatch that's going to allow me to let my children play with them, I'm going to have a picture of my kitchen table playing Uno. Okay? It's going to happen. And the folks that have these outlandish stories, I'm not going to discount it 100%. I will not do that because I have not been to the property. But if I could have that kind of interaction where they just say, hey, Dave, psst, this way. Yeah, the party's over here. I'm going. So I don't know what y'all's take is on that, but I get frustrated when you hear these people who have these incredible situations and I can't take part in them. I'm really, really flabbergasted by it.
Well, to let your child or your children, hang out with anything that's considered wild and unknown, you know what I mean? I mean, that's scary in itself. Why would you do that? Put your kids at harm? Say go out into the woods with those hairy men, those hairy beasts?
The most incredible person I've ever spoke to that has told me about stories of interaction with them was a woman by the name of Penny. Penny used to be my neighbor, and I had no idea. She had no idea that I was a Bigfoot researcher. I had no idea that she used to live in Ohio. And when actually a lady that works at the doctor's office where I go put us together and said, y'all got to talk. So I got to talk to Penny and her husband, wonderful people. They have a pretty incredible story, but I found them to be very credible. I didn't discount it, and I found myself wanting to believe and know more. But they told me the worst thing that they ever did in their entire lives was start to feed them. And they began an encounter on their property that spanned more than 3 years, where the activity was so constant that they couldn't get any rest. These creatures were coming and basically knocking on their doors, tapping on their windows, bumping their house until they physically came out and gave them what they wanted. And they would leave them alone until the next night. She told me for over 2 years that her and her husband had to make sure that they had enough Pepsi and store-bought popcorn on hand to feed these creatures every night. They were drinking. I giggle because it's funny. They were drinking Pepsi and popcorn. That's not a plug for Pepsi. That's just what they told me. Okay. I'm a Coca-Cola man. That's a plug for Coke. So she said that they couldn't get any rest. That it went on daytime, nighttime. It didn't matter. She said it became harassment to them. So they actually sold their house and their property and moved to North Carolina to get away from them. So.
And they were from Ohio.
Wow, wow, wow. And is their house still up for sale?
Well, this has been years ago. I mean, they've
Oh,
lived for 7, 8 years. So I mean, it's the encounters a little time back, but there are times when I want to travel to Ohio and go scout out that land they used to own and just see if there's anything still going on.
that's what I was thinking. Oh my gosh, how amazing. Maybe they tried to, like, you know how a dog can find their owner? Maybe they're like trying to find them. They're like going from forest to forest, trying to find their feeders.
I think these days.
Finds his way home. That would be
Yeah.
hilarious.
That would be a great movie, book, everything.
I think these days, if somebody habituated Bigfoot to be coming up to their home and then they put it up for sale with that as a selling point, I think it would sell quite quickly.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I think in today's market it would. Back then, I think people would still call them a little bit crazy. You know, the show Finding Bigfoot did a lot of good for the research community because it brought us to the forefront. And say what you want to about the show, at least it got people talking about it, and we got some exposure that we didn't have before. And I don't think people are laughing in our groups like they once were. And now they're sitting back, they're tuning in, they're subscribing, and they're clamoring for more information that we can bring them, you know, not necessarily just a television show. So, yeah, it's becoming a lot more acceptable about the many different theories that are out there surrounding Sasquatch than ever before.
That's so
Very
true.
cool. Very cool. And then what happens? I'm just curious. What happens if you catch a female Bigfoot and she turns around and say, "Hey, Super Dave"?
Super Dave don't float that way, okay?
No float on that boat.
Yeah, we're gonna not cross that bridge. Not into interspecies. So that's reality for me. So we'll just leave that one alone. But we have had a lot of interactions with female Sasquatch, Sasquatch, and I know that we've cast a footprint of a baby Sasquatch. The area that we coveted so close to our main hunt site. You know, we've said it time and time again. They're typically around January, February. It becomes a birthing area. One particular portion of this property, we believe, is where they were giving birth, and they didn't want us over there for love nor money, and they've done their level best to keep us out.
So you think they have specific birthing areas where the females just come together to have birth? And do they keep the little ones there together, do you think?
What we thought, and the way this area was set up, because it was like a natural little valley, and it was close to a freshwater stream where it had enough running water that you could drink from it but not worry about drowning. There were a lot of huge markers pointing to this area, if you will. Was it a safe zone? I don't know how to read all of what we found, but the way that the layout of the land was and the vegetation gave a lot of cover. A lot of it kept a lot of the wind and exposure off of you. There were what you call natural blinds, if you will, with a lot of the foliage and how they were. It was a very unique layout on our property, and I think that that's why they chose that one particular spot as the birthing site. And for a period of time, I think that's where the little ones become acclimated, you know, kind of get their legs under them, if you will. Taylor and I 3 years ago, we were going on, we got a main trail that runs the length of the property. And we had been hearing a noise that we just could not, I don't know what it is. We thought it was some kind of crazy bird, and what kind of bird, to this day, we couldn't tell you. But it almost sounded like a baby crying, if you will, but in a non-traditional way. I don't know how to explain it. So we something caught our attention, and we're walking, and I tapped Taylor, and we just kind of gave chase, if you will. We were just running down the main trail. We were both looking up to the right. And I asked Taylor, I said, tell me that you saw what I'm seeing. And without me saying anything, he described the exact thing that I thought we were following. And I believe that we had a very small Sasquatch, 2, maybe 3 foot tall, up in the tree line, jumping from tree to tree, just like you would see the chimpanzees do in the movies, and just with such a rapid pace, it was going so quick. I mean, we couldn't keep up with it. Now, is that what we saw? Can't tell you. It's what I think we saw. But that cemented in our minds what we're constantly hearing and thinking is a small Sasquatch. That's the conclusion that we drew, that they're on the property, and this is kind of it's a really safe area because there's nobody allowed on the property but us. There's no vehicles. You can't shoot on this property. It's like a wildlife reserve, if you will. So it's a very safe area for them to be
in. Very nice.
I love
Very
it.
nice.
Yeah. That's
awesome. Great. Well, I love hearing about that. That's pretty cool. I can about imagine that they would swing from tree to tree like that, because when we've had rocks thrown at us, the small rocks about 50 cent piece to a silver dollar sized, you can always hear them coming down through the branches of the trees like they were being thrown from above. Is that what you're experiencing as well?
A lot of that. And I tell everybody, if you hear something just drop on the ground, chances are it's going to be an acorn, a pine cone, something natural. But if you hear it where it's having to travel through limbs and then landing, within your vicinity, something's being thrown. And that's how we gauge that. Now, you guys gave some diameter sizes, small rocks, pebble size. We've got them as big as our fist. We've got rocks in some cases that are 4 and 5 pounds that are thrown at us. So when they hit, something has been thrown, because it shakes. It's a thud. So at first we didn't really keep them that much. Now we put a date on them and stick them on the fire mantle down in our cabin, so everybody can see them when they come to visit.
I never even thought about picking them up and keeping them.
I know.
Oh my gosh, we have to start doing that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And this is a research point, and y'all forgive me. I know this is live, but I have to. My nose is running. The reason we try to find the particular item that's thrown, because sometimes it can be a twig, a little pebble, but we try to look at if we can reasonably find it. And there are ways to tell that if it's a fresh rock and all those things. We want to look at where we're at, what types of rocks are available to us, and were these rocks carried from another part of the property or even from a different site altogether. Did they walk over there with a handful of these things going, let's have some fun? And what we have found in our case is they cross the Henry River a lot to get to us. And they are picking up river rocks and throwing them at us. Not the kind of stuff that we're just finding laying around in the forest or on the trailway. Rex put a new trail in for us, he bought some additional property that made our property a lot bigger. And in doing so, he actually destroyed a very large piece of evidence that we used all the time. But we had a rock on the property that was probably as big as anyone's dining room table. Take out, it was big. It was in the ground, so I don't know how much of it was in the ground, but what was sticking out was huge, and it was 3.5 feet out of the ground, 4-foot diameter, huge rock. And what they would do is they would take larger rocks and carry it to that one, and they would beat on it or grate it, drag it across like you're grating cheese. And that makes the eeriest, horrible, that is a scary sound. It took us a year to figure out what that sound was. And when you've got a rock that's that big, that deep underground, and you've got something with enough power to smash another rock that weighs, in some cases, guys, or ladies, I'm sorry, I'm used to talking to the guys, they were picking up rocks that I know were in excess of 300 pounds and smashing them. And there's been times that first bang will unnerve you. The ground shakes under your feet. You can feel it in your chest. It runs through your bones. It wiggles your teeth, and it will scare the ever-living crap out of you until you realize, I know where they are. Let's go. And we started finding evidence where when we get close enough, they abandon it and move on, but we can see where they've been busting rocks. And when you can bust a 300-pound rock and crack it in half, you've done something.
Wow, that just really sounds like a show of force of I'm bigger than you are. What are you doing over here?
We where me and Toby are down there. I don't know if Taylor's with us or not. Taylor may be with us. I'm not 100%. I can't remember. But when it starts, I swear to you, and we were so thrilled because our cameras picked up the sounds. We were using the old first edition Sony Handycam night vision, and the sound quality was horrible on those things. But they picked it up like, you could hear it clearly. What they didn't pick up is in person. What I tell everybody when you hear this boom, 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 it's great that you could hear it on camera. But it translated in real time as someone's got a Volkswagen and they're just destroying it on the ground. We were from the river up to where it was a 200-foot cliff, and they were beating this thing on the river's edge, and it was shaking the ground under our feet. And I've never experienced anything like that in my entire life. And it was so loud. I mean, I just love it. I mean, where do you go to have that kind of adventurous action and fun just for your time and your effort anywhere? You can't go to a theme park and get that kind of stuff scared out of you.
That's true. That's true. It's probably the biggest adrenaline rush I've ever had in my life. How about you, Jena?
Oh yes. I absolutely, it's so exciting to be part of this. And I tell everybody that all the time, it's so exciting to be part of a community that is looking for the truth. So I am so excited doing this. Yeah, definitely. Total adrenaline. I'm not a junkie, but it is nice.
Boring, I wouldn't be doing it.
For sure. There's lots of other fun things to do if it wasn't something that we could really find. I mean, I think if we were out there looking and never had any kind of encounter, I think we'd lose interest. But as soon as you have something going on, you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get back out there.
Mm-hmm.
So we've definitely got the bug, the Bigfoot bug, that's for sure. So we've got like 4 minutes of the show left. Do you want to tell us about your very coolest encounter?
My very coolest encounter would be the very first night that I went hunting. It was
it was such an honor to be invited with this group. First off, I got to meet Rex Lell, who was a great Christian man and who has become one of my dearest friends. Secondly, that was the night I met Taylor Cook, and Taylor has become one of my dearest, closest friends. He is one of my best friends. I can't tell you I have one best friend. It's impossible. Taylor Cook, Tate Fullbright, and Toby Bolick are so special in my life. It's incredible. And without Bigfoot, I would have never met any of these guys. So, when you look for a meaning behind everything, I think there's a spiritual connection with Sasquatch. And I think that it's just like anything else God has created. He will use that to put people together. And through that, our group was born, and we're a Christian group, and we have a lot of fun. But that would be my most exciting moment, is meeting Taylor. Taylor Cook is a very special person in my life, and I love my team members with a passion that I don't know how to explain. We'll do anything for them.
That's true. The community is so strong. I love the Bigfoot community, in our individual groups as well as all the groups together as one.
Yeah, my team is like a family to me. Those are my girls. For sure. We're very tight.
Oh,
we
yes.
have to be when we travel in tight quarters. So
Definitely.
we have to be tight.
The traveling with Tate and Taylor and Toby is a blast. There's never a dull moment. There's never, we're always running our mouths, saying something, having fun, picking on one another. It's some of the best times I've had in my entire life. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it funny though? The funniest things happen when you're not tape recording.
All right. We only have 1 minute left. I want to give him the opportunity to tell people where to find him online. Please let us know real quick.
Yep, just go on to the internet, type in Squatch Watchers, pull us up. It'll take you to our YouTube page. Subscribe. Sit back and watch some of the most exciting videos on the planet right now.
Very cool. So that was go on the internet and just type in Squatch Watchers. Go to their YouTube channel and follow them. I think you might even be able to find them on Facebook. Follow them there. Subscribe to their channel. And come on over to the She-Squatchers Facebook page and order some She-Squatchers Girls Gone Squatch gear while you still can. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you, Super Dave, for coming on the show. We hope you'll come back again and share some more of your stories with us another time. And bring some of your teammates with us. We loved meeting you in Virginia at the Virginia Bigfoot Conference. And hey, I think we're less than 2 weeks away. Are we 2 weeks away from Kansas City Paracon? Come see us in Kansas City. She-Squatchers will be there, and we'll be speaking at the event again, 3rd year in a row. So come on out, see us at the Kansas City Paracon. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Night.